My name is Keith Burrow, and I'm Vice President of Strategic Development for a company called North America Construction Limited. We are a builder. In fact, we call ourselves master builders. The reason being, we have a unique company. We have about 1,000 or so tradespeople that work for us across Canada, and from all trades. So most construction companies are either just general contractors, mechanical or electrical. Our company does all three, and in conjunction with that, we do all three in remote locations, as well as in southwestern Ontario and metropolitan areas, Vancouver, throughout Alberta, Saskatchewan, pretty much across Canada and the north, with the exception of Quebec. We build hydroelectric facilities, oil and gas facilities. We build cogeneration plants, and virtually anything to do with energy. Biomass, cogeneration, ethanol, of course mining is another large area that we're into. But our foundation and the roots of the company is municipal infrastructure. We build water treatment plants, sewage treatment plants. We've built the largest ultraviolet filtration facility in the world, for the Seymour Capilano water treatment plant in Vancouver, to the smallest sewage treatment plants for small communities in northern Ontario. So what makes us special is there's not many companies like us. We do about $300 million a year with 1,000 employees, and we tend to be in a niche market. Looked in the yellow pages. It's the only place I knew where to look for marketing. I hadn't done this before, so it was all new for me. Went onto their website and immediately was caught by the tagline, "Borderless Media Strategies." It was something that spoke to me right off the bat. The idea of that being borderless, and that was music to my ears, is that someone maybe understood what it is I was trying to do, is it wasn't just going to be one project. So I went in and met with them. And within half an hour, I knew I had found the company that I was looking for. Eric, the creative director, was immediately began to feel the enthusiasm for our company. And that was important for me because I was relatively new to the company. We were making a change from the people that had done our marketing and branding before. I felt like it needed to be updated. And so a lot of people wondered how this was going to work out. And here we are 2-3 years later, having done a brochure, website, numerous branding activities and pamphlets and brochures for trade shows across Canada. And it's been a huge success. So in my role as VP of Strategic Development and having to look after all the marketing for the company, it was very important that I find a partner, somebody that would understand exactly kind of the unique nature of our company, working across Canada, having all of these various people doing the various jobs that we did, because there's not a lot to compare it to. Making sure that our story got out was very important. So originally when I started looking, I wasn't looking necessarily for someone to help us just with a brochure or just with a website or just with whatever. I was looking for someone who would come alongside us with expertise in all of those areas, and somebody that could be a friend and a partner with our company for years and years. So pretty tall order to find somebody like that. Obviously the relationship is probably what's key. It's the most important thing. Most businesses, they come together for a specific purpose, a specific period of time, and then they go their separate ways. Here I'm looking for something long term. So my objective was to start with a brand new brochure. We needed to take a brochure that had been used for approximately 10 years. There was a lot of pride in our previous brochure, but it was out of date. And not just the history, but the look and the feel of it. So right off the bat, I sat down with the people at Scribblers, said, what can we do? And honoring the past, so not making wholesale change, but bringing a fresh look to it, and especially making sure that our story got told. It was very clear to me that it's difficult when you have something unique to explain it quickly to people. But with the executives that I meet with across this country, you only have a few minutes to make an impression. And clearly I felt that a picture is worth 1,000,000 words in our industry, because it shows what we can do, whether it's a water treatment plant or a mine or a large hydroelectric facility or something like that. It really shows what we're about very quickly. And Scribblers was able to bring together this whole beautiful hardcover, almost a coffee table book, something that would never get thrown in the garbage even if someone wasn't interested in it. And here I sit again 2 years later, 3 years later, and we hand out dozens of these, hundreds of these throughout the year, and the proof is in the pudding. Invariably, the people that we're handing it to, who have very little time in their day, because they're usually top executives and they're usually have a lot of people calling on them, quickly will flip through the brochure, and very quickly you see them start to grasp what NAC is. And you hear the, wow, you guys you can really do a lot. And it tells my story for me. And that's priceless. So Scribblers pulled that off. That was the first project. Right after the brochure was a big success, was the website. Our website needed updating badly. And so we just built on what we did with the brochure. And I went ahead very quickly. We had built up some good momentum at that time, and asked if Scribblers could help us redevelop our entire website right from scratch. So again, my role as VP of Strategic Development is primarily marketing. And so I wanted to make sure that, again, was our story getting told? Was our brand being really felt by our potential clients? And very quickly, Scribblers Club brought that to fruition. And then we had a little surprise. Because I was relatively new with the company, I didn't fully appreciate how much our human resources department used our website as a recruitment tool. And by that, what I mean is people actually put their applications in online, and there was a database built into the back end of our website that our human resources group actually recruited people from. So that came as a surprise, and I kind of got caught with that one. But I went to Eric, I went to Scribblers Club, and I said, didn't know that this was going on. Are you able to help me with this? You've done a beautiful job on the front end, but apparently we need a much more robust back end to this website. And within a week, that problem was solved. And I was extremely relieved. They really kind of snatched me out of the fire on that one, so to speak, because it was a major part of our business that I didn't completely understand at the time. And today, it's used for that very purpose. We do safety training on it because a lot of our people work remotely. They don't necessarily come to our head office. So they get their certificates, their WMIS training, some of their preliminary fall arrest training through our website, through strictly kind of a back door on the website. Whereas the front of the website is still what I wanted, the glossy storytelling, here's what we do, here's what we are. And I was just thrilled that that worked out. Then it rolled into a third project. Again, almost immediately, we had numerous trade shows that we were doing across Canada, Vancouver, in the Fort McMurray area, throughout Saskatchewan, again, across the country. It targeted at a very specific segment for us, and so we needed a custom pamphlet made up. And as usually goes with these things, time was short. And we needed 1,000 or so brochures, pamphlets done up, but very professionally. Again, that captured our story and our brand, but focused on a particular market segment. And without a lot of forewarning, without a lot of notice, again, Scribblers Club was able to pull that off for us. So what I find I really value in all of that is the various projects that they did for us, the various campaigns that they did for us, really are just kind of links in a chain that they got us. They understood who we were, and they were able to convey it in multiple media types. And this borderless media strategies, they delivered on that promise. So at the end of the day, an unqualified success for NAC. I had some skeptics back at the company because I was making a wholesale change. And I don't think anybody believed that one boutique firm in Kitchener could do all of this for a company our size and with our scope. And yet I knew that Scribblers could do it, but the proof needed to be in the pudding. And when people back at the office, our directors and our executive team, saw the brochures, saw the website, saw the pamphlets, saw the speed at which things were done and how well it was done, they were sold. So an unqualified success. They are guests of honor every summer at our Lobster Fest. We love having them, and they really have become part of the family. Our finance and admin teams that deal with all the invoicing and whatnot back and forth tell me that they're a pleasure to deal with. So what more can you ask for than that? That's rare these days to find that level of professionalism and that relationship. So we're not going to mess with that. We're going to stick with Scribblers. So if anyone contacted me and wanted a reference for Scribblers, we've been with Scribblers now for coming up on 3 years on multiple projects. And they've delivered 100%. We're not pushovers. We're in a tough business in construction across Canada. We know what good service is and when it's not there. And believe me, we've had lots of vendors fail us as well. So when somebody succeeds as much as Scribblers has at providing what we've asked for, you know it. And so I would just tell them that. Go for it. 100%. They won't let you down. So what's really cool is here we are now 3 years later, and I've got other vice presidents in the company coming to me saying, we're thinking about doing this. Is this something that you think Scribblers could help us out with? And that to me is, I mean, they've done what everybody hopes will happen, which is they've made me look good. At the end of the day, they really have come through for me. Other people have seen it, and they want to look good too. So I just think there's no higher compliment for a firm that specializes in making companies look good and telling their story.